Hello, are you ready to make something awesome? Today I'm going to show you how I made this video. It's got 3 fun, easy steps. And first, I'm going to show you how I made that cool, abstract background using a technique I like to call gradient painting. And then that's just the beginning. In a future video, I'll show you how I brought it all together and combined that old TV with a screen recording of my song playing using the magic of After Effects. And the best part, I'll show you how I added those cool glitches to make it look like an old, worn-out VHS tape. So let's get started and make something awesome together. Okay, so the first thing we do is make a gradient. And then we're just going to make another gradient. And I'm not really worried about the colors. The main thing I'm trying to do is I turn dither on. That's going to add some noise. And I just am making some different gradients. There's different directions, different colors, who knows what or why, like that. That's amazing. I'm going to reverse it, dither it, because they all need dithering. We've got a couple of gradients. Now we can start painting with them. So I'm going to turn these off. We've got our first 2 gradients. I'm going to take this first gradient and I'm just going to play around with the different transfer modes, different blending modes, just to see what happens. And I'm just looking for, I don't really care about color at this stage. I'm just looking for the ones where something interesting starts to happen. Just seeing what gives what kind of effect. I kind of intentionally don't pay attention to which ones I'm using, because I want this to remain more of a, how do you say, recipe, formula? It's more of a technique than a formula. So I feel like the more I just keep playing around with the technique and using different colors and different transfer modes in different directions each time, I think it helps make it stay a little bit more fun. And usually once stuff starts happening, I might go in here and reverse some gradients to see what that does, see what kind of changes that gets me. And then sometimes I'll just come in here in between a couple of gradients and I'll just add a layer and I'll just grab a color that I like and I'll just grab the airbrush and I'll just start painting a little bit and then start playing with the transfer modes for that, just to kind of stick something extra in there. Ooh, I really like that. That's cool. See how it gets that light bend? I'm just looking for, when reactions like that happen, just something, what's giving me the most reaction at this phase. Not really worried about colors at all. It's very easy to change the colors of this later. So I don't worry about colors at all right now. I'm just having fun. I'm gonna just paint another layer on top of this. And I'm maybe just gonna start with it in vivid light and just see, oh, that's just nuts. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit smaller. Let's get some. Zoom, 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 zoom. That's nice. Alright, now I'm just gonna play with the colors on this one a little bit. See what happens where. I like that. Just crazy. It's all digital. Dissolve, dither, craziness. What's fun is that I can take this that I painted, that's this green, but I can apply a gradient overlay to it. And I can just stick a gradient on here. Maybe something iridescent. Those are maybe a little mellow. Maybe if I reverse that one out. Try to match that. Make sure it's dithered. Now we can just bake this color in. We can just rasterize this layer style. Now the pixels are this color. And we can play with our transfer modes. We can go back over here to difference, in light, see what does what. That's kind of cool. just kind of like blows it out, divides it. And you know, I think I'm just gonna take this and just blur it out. Just like sometimes I'll just like go through with some heavy Gaussian blur. Just blur the out of something just to soften it up. I'm going for kind of like an airbrush kind of look. So sometimes when it's kind of soft, kind of awesome. Sometimes I also really like to go in and grab one of these layers that I painted on, just slide it over. We get this little edge. It's a little bit different. At this point, I'll usually not loving this green color up here. Try to figure out what layer that's coming from. Probably this one. Or reverse or rotate. Definitely coming from that layer, but I think it's probably more the transfer mode than anything. So I might start tweaking that. That's pretty. What's that divide? I like that. So I'm just gonna roll with that one. Then I'll add a vibrance layer. Boost the vibrance a little bit. But then I like to take the saturation, just go way too far, just blow everything out. It's just crazy. And then pull it back until it's just enough. And you'll know. You'll know when you see that line where it's like just between way too much and not enough. Can't see it. Just blowing it out. That's basically what I do. That's gradient painting. Thank you so much for coming by. And shout out to @JulesM9729 for asking a question that inspired these tutorials. If any of you see anything in any of my videos and you're wondering how it's done, feel free to ask me below in the comments. I'm a big fan of sharing knowledge. When I was first starting out playing music, and then later graphic design and visual art, some friends took the time to show me things I didn't know, and I'm always happy to do the same. Peace.